Hey, this is Nubia Sunshine coming to you today on September 6th, 2013. It's a new season upon us really soon. The unofficial start of fall has begun, but actually fall does begin in late September. But we kind of feel this season of fall when the kids go back to school and the weather starts to change a little bit. It is a little cooler here in New York and Brooklyn. But it's a new season that's coming upon us. So I welcome you guys back to my YouTube videos, and I'll be bringing them to you more regular now. I've been taking a little bit of a break, getting some things in order, and just being busy. Just being really, really busy. But I do miss you guys. I miss talking to you guys and sharing some of Nubia's knowledge and a little bit of my wisdom. So I come to you today just on a subject about health in general. I just lost a friend, a very close friend, a brother of mine, Mr. Sean Liverman, who I love so much. He was only 41 years young, and he died of a heart attack about 2 weeks ago. And it was really difficult for me to find out that I lost my brother just lost my brother in general, but even more so because of a heart situation. And I still don't even know the details as to why he had a heart attack. But for someone who's 41 years old to have a heart attack, there had to be some serious health issues that caused that to happen, unfortunately. And as funny as it may seem for us to think about being so young and having something so serious, it used to be that when I was in my teens, you would hear of someone having a heart attack, usually someone in their 60s or their 70s. Never have you heard of someone in their 40s having a heart attack, much less someone in their 20s having a heart attack. So that leads me to say, what is happening with our bodies? What is happening that is causing so much of us to perish or to be ill at such a young age? 41 is very young. For me, I'm 41 and I'm living life more than I have when I was in my 20s or in my 30s. Even being at home, living life at home, doing everything that I love to do now. So when I hear of someone in their 40s dying from a heart attack or having heart disease or cancer or anything like that, I have to ask myself, what is happening? Is it in our food? Is it in our environment? Is it in our thought process? Is it in the surrounding energies that we take in every single day? What is it that is killing us so abruptly, so quickly? And at a rate where we don't even know what's happening with ourselves until it's actually happening. I always say part of loving yourself is taking care of yourself. And even though we walk around here and we're like, I love myself, I have good self-esteem, but when we are eating foods that we know are not healthy for us, is that really loving yourself? Is that really loving your body enough to put what's healthy in it? I see a lot of young men and young women these days who have overweight issues, especially around the abdominal area. You see women who never had children with stomachs like they had babies. You have men that walk around that look like they're having babies. So it's clearly something going on in the food. It's clearly something going on in the environment as a whole. And it's affecting our bodies in such a great way. And I want to read something that I have read. And from time to time I read the Bible and I pick up things. And I want to read something that I read in Genesis. And it's something. It's in Genesis 9. And I'm just going to read the first 3 verses. It says, God blessed Noah and his sons and told them, be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth, all the animals of the earth, all the birds of the sky, all the small animals that scurry along the ground, and all the fish in the sea will look on you with fear and terror. I have placed them in your power. I have given them to you for food, just as I have given you grain and vegetables. You must never eat any meat that still has lifeblood in it. Okay? So this is in Genesis chapter 9 and verse 1, 2, and 3. And it speaks about being fruitful and multiply, and also that God has given us the foods that we need here. And me being a person who has become vegetarian, I don't partake in any foods that have blood in it, and not for the sake of the Bible, just because it's a lifestyle that I chose to live. I came to that decision because at 28 years old, I was slightly overweight. A lot of people didn't realize that. They thought I was healthy. And I felt it. You know, I was 220 pounds. And although I am 5'9.5", 5'10", it didn't seem like a lot of weight. It didn't seem like it was being overweight, but it was. I felt it. I felt it every day when I walked. I felt it when I couldn't go in the store and buy certain things that I loved, that I wanted to wear, and I just couldn't wear it. It just couldn't fit me, or they didn't make it in my size. It was humiliating, you know, but yet I continued to eat the same way. I didn't change anything about the way I ate. And I got to a point in my life where every time I ate a meal, I became sluggish and tired. And food is supposed to give you energy. Food is not supposed to take away energy and make you tired. Like in the black community, we say catching the itis kind of thing. And what that means is after you eat something, you get the itis, meaning you get tired. You know, and unfortunately, we've adopted that as good eating. We adopted that as, okay, I'm getting itis. That must have been good. Well, to me, I understand it as a food allergy, or something that is adverse to what food is supposed to do. Food is supposed to give you energy. Food is not supposed to slow you down and make you sleepy and make you tired. So there's something wrong in that food that's making you come down when it should make you go up. And I started to learn that as I got older. You know, it's not acceptable to have the itis, as far as I'm concerned. Because that means something is wrong. I'm eating something that is not right for my body. And whatever is not right for your body will give you an allergy. Whether it be getting tired and feeling lethargic, having the runs is another sign of having a food allergy. Outside of hives and rashes, and outside of just plain feeling ill. You know, most people equate allergies with your face puffing up, your eyes puffing up, your throat closing up, but also your digestive system can react to the things that you eat by enabling you to, or giving you a sign by enabling you to have the runs. When you find that something is running through your body, it doesn't necessarily always have to mean food poisoning. It could mean you have an allergy to something and is not agreeing with your body, and your body wants to remove it as quickly as possible. You know, and I've learned that. So what I decided to do when I started to go into my 30s and like my mid-30s, because I really got to the point where I was just frustrated. I couldn't wear the high heels that I wanted to wear because my knees, I would feel the weight on my knees. And like I said, people looked at me and didn't see it. Oh, you're healthy, you're nice and thick, you got, big thighs, big arms, big backside, big, all that. And in the black community, it is celebrated when you are thick, when you are a healthy woman. And there's nothing wrong with that by any means. But thickness does not equate with healthy. Where you may think, because you have all this fullness and you're voluptuous, you may think you're healthy, but inside your body could be screaming for help. And it's not until you find out when you go to the emergency room. It's not even when you get a checkup from somebody. When you go to the emergency room and you have crushing chest pains and you can't breathe, and you find out that you have heart disease or you have something that's wrong, that you need to change your diet. I know some women who talked about not losing weight because they like the fact that their man loves them thick, loves them with a big ass and voluptuous breasts and just big. And a lot of brothers say that. Like when I tell some of my male friends I'm still working on losing weight, now you're not going to lose too much weight, are you? Because no, I'm going to find myself in a healthy proportion for me. Not for you, not for that person, for me. And if you don't appreciate that, then you can go in the other direction, because I want to be healthy. And a lot of us don't put our foot down when it comes to stuff like that, because we embrace that. Oh, well, he wants me to be nice and, and your heart is suffering, but you looking good on the outside, but your inside is crippled. It doesn't make sense to me. So for me, what I began to do is I started to look into ways to healthily bring down my weight. I'm not one who goes on diets and try this diet and do this diet. Oh, you should do this one, and you should. I took myself to a yoga class, and I took myself to an African dance class. And upon the first week of my African dance class, for one, when you take that class, you have to constantly move, which constantly you're sweating, which means you have to now start drinking more water. So it forced me to drink water. I didn't like water, and I would drink it if I felt like it. But now I'm taking this class, I'm like, oh, I need water, and I would drink more water. After taking a dance class, instead of going to a McDonald's, I wanted to get a salad. So my thinking started to change when I started to do more activity, because now my body is pumped up. Now it needs food to keep it pumped up, not to bring it down. So healthy foods were becoming more of a choice for me than going to a McDonald's. And it wasn't so much that I was consciously thinking of not going to McDonald's. It was just like, what, I'm in the mood for a salad. And that's what it became. And after a while, I noticed that I wasn't going to McDonald's, and I wasn't caring about it. And I started to realize that if I ate those French fries, I'm going to get tired. And I know that I shouldn't be getting tired. So something was wrong. So with that, I started to do the African dance classes. I started to do the yoga classes, which I was doing the Bikram yoga, which is the hot yoga. It's 110 degrees. You do 26 poses. It's a 90-minute class. Intense sweating. And with the sweating, at first I was annoyed, because I was like, I'm dripping off my eyelashes. And everybody's dripping, and I'm like, I'm dripping off my eyelashes. And it's like, this is detoxifying your body. You are getting all these toxins out of your body by sweating it out of your pores. And I would say immediately after a class, I would have a breakout here, a breakout there, because now everything is trying to escape out, because the sweat is forcing it out. So now it's like, okay, and after like 2 weeks of that class, my skin started to clear up. I mean, my skin everywhere. And I didn't have issues everywhere else, but it would just became, I started to glow. And the more I took classes, like I took initially the first 3 weeks of those classes, my mind became more focused. My eating habits changed again. I stopped eating meats at the time. I was still eating like chicken and turkey. I had stopped in 2006. I had stopped eating chicken and turkey and just stuck with fish. And I still eat fish on occasion to this day. But it's amazing because as I continue to take these classes, the more I became conscious of what I was putting inside my body. And the more I took the classes, the more I would be, like, a lot of these classes have the mirrors in the front. So I would look at myself in the mirror, and I would look at the changes, and I would love the changes. And I'm just like, oh my God, I see a difference. In 2 weeks, I saw a difference. Even with my trainer, in 2 weeks, I saw a difference. And that's how much the weight was waiting to come off of me. It was like, oh my God, thank God. This chick is finally working out. You know, she's finally doing something. And I'm not going to say that I'm a pillar of health, but I feel younger now at 41 than I did when I was 21. My mind is much more clear than it was when I was 21. My spiritual connection is more grounded than it was when I was in my 20s and I was studying the ministry. You know, there are so many changes that has occurred that sort of reversed my aging process as I got healthier. It was almost like I was going in reverse. And I'm not saying that it is, but I feel that way. And that is so important. That's more important than anything that anybody can look at me and say, damn, baby, you look good, thick like that. No, it feels better to know that my body feels good to me, regardless as to what it feels like to anybody else. Yeah, it's nice to adorn this and for someone to give me compliments about what it is. But if it doesn't feel good, I could say thank you on the surface and be miserable on the inside. You know, so I say this because we are losing so many people, so young, for unnecessary things. When you can look at what you're eating, not just look at what you're eating, also just the toxic energies that you have around you. When you're on the phone and you're in the street and you're arguing with somebody, is that healthy? What energy are you bringing to yourself when you're cussing somebody out on the phone? You know, when you are pulling yourself out of proportion because someone pissed you off. It happens. It happens to me sometimes. I let somebody earlier this week get under my skin. But I had to check it real quick before I held on to it. And I had to say, okay, Monique, you let this person pull you out of your meditation zone. And they succeeded in taking your power from you. How you going to get that back? Where are you going to get it back from? They're not going to give it back to you. So you have to find a way to get that back. And how I found a way to get that back is prayer and meditation. And being able to breathe and get it out my body. Because that can kill you. That can give you heart issues. That can give you mental issues. That can give you all kinds of issues. One thing can trigger another, you know. And in as much as I talk about the medical community and not really just leaning to that and going to the holistic doctors, but taking care of ourselves also requires us to go to the doctor, get regular checkups. And then, you know, for me, I do that and then I follow up with a holistic doctor. If there's any ailments or any things that I need to have attention for, I prefer to do it the natural way because I believe that everything that is here on this earth, for every ailment that we have, there is a cure here on this earth. I do believe that. And I hold true to it. You know, it has been years since I've had a cold. You know, and I literally say this, like, I can't even remember. I have to say maybe 2005. Maybe. I don't even remember. But I know that when I stopped eating the meat, and I started drinking more water, and I started eating more fruits and vegetables, and I started doing more activities, and I started doing activities with the mind, and I started to interact with people a little bit more. My health has been pretty good, and I'm thankful for that. And I continue to be thankful, because you never know. You know, you could be here today and gone tomorrow. You know, but there are so many situations where people do pass away from just going out in the street and getting hit by a car or having an accident. You know, but if you can, you know, outside of those probabilities of those things happening, you can better your health. You can give yourself a longer lifespan physically, that you can control, you know. And that's the message that I want to bring forth, because I am losing so many loved ones due to illnesses, all to illnesses, illnesses that can be prevented, illnesses that can be treated, illnesses that can be cured, if we pay attention to our bodies and truly love the individual that you see in the mirror. Truly love yourself so much that you want to be here longer, that you will put down those fries. You will put down that soda, and you will start to pick up a fruit, or you start to pick up a vegetable, even something that you don't like, something you've never eaten before, but something that will give you all the health benefits that you need in order to rejuvenate your body. It's so important. And when do you start? You start today. You start right now. You start thinking about that you love yourself enough and you're important enough to stick around here long enough. So let me change my diet. Let me change the way I eat. Let me change the way I think. Let me change the people I'm around. Let me get closer to the divine. Let me meditate a little bit more. Let me start looking at these normal bad habit patterns that enable me to attract all this negative stuff that is tearing my body down. The shell that is holding on to your spirit. The shell that is keeping your energy going. I know I'm coming hard, and I know it got real serious for a minute, but it is a serious situation. I'd hate to lose more friends, more loved ones, because of something that we can definitely prevent. You know, I love sweets as much as the next person. I have ice cream fetish as much as the next person. You know, but in moderation. And eventually you'll start to wean out. You know, I'm not perfect in my diet, but I'm better than I was. And I lost a great deal of weight. I went from 220 pounds down to 175 on my own, without a trainer, without a diet, without anyone telling me I need to do it. It was because I said to myself, I had enough of feeling this way. And I took charge of it. And I decided how I wanted to do it, how it best suited me. And it was time. But don't let it be too late. And on that, I thank you for joining me. And I will talk to you guys soon. Peace and love. Namaste.